Continue, we will talk about if-else-if statement. Earlier, when we talk about the nested if-else statement, we say they can process multiple conditions. So the same thing, sometimes we have a series of conditions we need to check until one is true. Then we will finish. So usually you can just using the nested if-else statement. But sometimes also there will be a lot of indentation. Okay, for example, you see here, if we have so many conditions, if it's raining, take an umbrella. Else, if it's windy, so then we take a hat. Else, if the sun is strong, so then we need to take a sunglasses. So that's why sometimes you have so many conditions. So then if we continue to use the if-else statement, then there will be too many indentation. For example, we see the typical example about your grade. So you see, if your grade is greater or equal to 90, so then if that's true, you got an A. Else mean if not over 90, right? So continue, we need to do else. Else, if the grade is between 90 to 80 to 90. So on the other hand, here it's greater than 90, but it's not, then we need to see greater than 80. If greater than 80 is true, then you got a B. But continue, else, if not greater than 80, then we need to do again else, if greater than 70, then you got a C. So this one actually is, we still need to use a lot of the if-else, nested if-else statements after your else. But here, if you see, if we do so, then you will have a lot of the braces you need to do together. So you will see here, for example, because each else, there will be a block. Then remember we told you if you have your nested if-else statement, we want you to make sure you always can have indentation for your statement. So that's why you see after your else, then you need to do the indentation, two space more. So if you have a long nested if-else statement, they will make your program look very long, and also they have a lot of indentation. It's difficult to read. So for this kind of situation, we always know if the first condition is false, so then we need to continue to check with that, right? So each condition, they are connected to each other. And also we have so many layers. So we will introduce you another one we call if-else-if format. So the if-else-if format, actually they still kind of is one kind of nested if-else statement. But we make that format a little clear. Because after your first if statement, if your grade greater or equal to 90, you got the A. Else, so then we write away the if statement is right after the else. So then else space if, then continue grade greater than 80. So then you got the B. So continuously you have a lot of else if. Of course, at the end, you will have the final else. So this else is, for example, you see here, after you are greater than 60, you got a D. So then else, actually all under 60, we just say F. So then you have if, else, if, and also at the end, you have another else at the end. So this format, actually they are kind of still using the same thing as nested if-else statement. But this one will make you don't have indentation for the multiple nested if-else statement. So then you're just using if, else if, else if, else if. They are all in the same line. So that we call the if, else if format. So the typical example is really about your grade. So that's why the next example we will see this. The example is for the grading. So example 6, we will see, we will ask the user to give us a test score. So then we know the test score, especially see for DVC, we always have above 90, you got the A, above 80, you got the B. So then you have 70 for C, 60 for D. So that will be a constant number. So the constant variable we always make then is uppercase. So that's why we ask the user to enter their test score. So we said, ask the user, please enter your numeric test score. Then we'll let you know your letter grade. So after you got this test score, right? So you see that's our if statement. So if the test score is greater or equal to 90, so we see out you got an A. So else if greater than 80, so then you got a B. Else if greater than 70, you got the C. So else if you greater than 60, you got the D. So then the last one, else, you will get the F. So here you will see the most important thing is, you see, we kind of have the 90 you have, that's all above. But under 90, we still have different condition we want to check. So that's why the same thing you can see here, we have the example 6. Also make sure you download that and run your program. So then you see else if they make that your code look much nicer. So then you see now we run the result. Okay, so you enter your numeric grade. Okay, so then they will give you the answer for that. So that's the if else if statement.